course I'm alive. What do you think? I'm actually thriving, okay? But I'll tell you what, Marc Maron better keep his name out of my mouth. He's been talking a lot of smack. He's out there talking to Howie Mandel about me. We'll get to that in a bit.
He's tiptoeing around it. He won't say exactly who he's talking about. But we all know he's talking about you.
We'll get to that in a minute. I don't want to bury the lead here, but we'll get to that. But first of all, welcome to Kump. And we have a lot to get to today. But this will not stand with Marc Maron. All right? I'm not gonna allow Marc Maron to besmirch my name. He wants to talk about, I'll get to it now. Why am I under attack for hiring Navy SEALs to defend me? Why am I a target? Why is this guy the guy who does what's he famous for? For Thinky Pain? Is that his comedy special? That's the most recent one?
Well, maybe if he had hired a few Navy SEAls to keep him safe.
Maybe he wouldn't be so intimidated by a guy. But he's out there. Marc Maron, the comedian, allegedly the comedian, is out there running his mouth about how I hire homeless guys and pretend they're Navy SEAls to defend me and my wife when we go out in public. When we go to a comedy club to hold court. And I bring these men, these armed men, who are
strung out men.
Look, of course, you think you're not strung out from war? You think you go to war and you're gonna be A-okay? Everything's fine. War is hell.
Nothing
all right?
to lose.
War is hell, and the men who I paid to defend me are strung out. They're shot.
And they will attack you.
Well, look, we're gonna get into trouble here. Don't. That's a loaded statement. Yeah. They will do what the right, whatever's the right move at any given time. Right. I will not stand for my Navy SEALs to be called, hey, homeless men. They smell bad. Some of them are fat. They're constantly hitting on people, other guys' wives, trying to intimidate them, asking people for food.
I've also heard they don't stand for pregnant women on the train when you guys are going around. I've heard complaints about their basic civility.
Look, if you don't gradually increase your leg strength as you get more pregnant, that's not the fault of my Navy SEAls. That's not the fault of the men that I contracted to defend me and my wife.
Yeah.
All right? And look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you don't have it in your heart to feed a soldier. If you eat half a hot dog and he asks you if you're going to eat that, he comes up to your table. And he comes up and goes, hey, can I eat that hot dog? And he goes, this is trash. Wait, what? You want to eat my hot dog? People start saying stuff like that. Why you want my hot dog? It's disgusting. And, what, are you a vagrant? What, are you homeless? Mm-hmm. And then they pull the gun out. And things get nasty. And I'm to blame? Why do you think I hire people? Because the world's full of conflict.
Yeah. The
world is full of just terrible, misunderstandings. And I need guys on my side who know the ins and outs of combat.
Despite the fact that they practically make the world more dangerous, I feel safer when they're around.
Well, if the world has to be a little more victimized so that I can be okay.
Yeah.
And my wife can be okay.
That's what a man does.
That's what a man does. Thank you, Lucy. That's what a man does.
He shields himself with less mentally stable men to protect him and his wife.
I mean, look, are they shell shocked? Maybe. I'm sorry that our wars of treasure didn't leave them centered and zen-like. I'm sorry they're not they don't do Pilates like Marc Maron and his friends. I don't know what Marc Maron wants. He's talking a lot. He's going on the Howie Mandel show talking about me and the men I hire, and I'm pretty sick. I'm pretty sick over it, but otherwise I'm doing great. I was doing so great today. I woke up. I was doing my macros. Right? Mm-hmm. I've lost 17 pounds in 10 days because I'm by pure willpower. I'm chefing. I'm being a chef now. I'm doing meditation.
You got us a wonderful Little Joe, what is it called? A little Joe grill?
A little Joe, a Smoky Joe.
A Smoky Joe grill.
I got the Smoky Joe grill, and from Weber, and I'm gonna make all sorts of grilled meats because I was living first of all, before we get any further, like the show. You like people? You go, we already like to subscribe to the show. Stop saying subscribe. Fine, like it. You know, everyone who views it should like it. Put your name in the sand. Stop being afraid of Marc Maron. Were you afraid Marc Maron's gonna write down every guy who likes the Kump podcast and then report you to some child protective services because you won't let your kid transition? Oh, this guy, they like Kump podcast and he hires homeless guys, and I think the guys who like and subscribe won't let their kids transition. That's maybe he'll do that. I don't know what business it is. I have no opinion of anything. but if he thinks he's gonna ruin my career, I'm just so I feel ill thinking about him. How smug he is when he talks about my homeless. I'm in the Navy SEALs. Now, also patreon.com/Ray Kump. You get an extra episode every week for $5 a month. That's fine. That's a fine thing to do. Okay? So here's the thing. I am... The Smoky Joe is a grill from Weber, and I'm going to make a lot of vegetables on it. I'm going to make a lot of chicken on it. I'm not going to be the guy anymore who says, I smoke out my apartment every day trying to make chicken and steak. Oh, I don't have a window in my kitchen. Oh, I don't have a proper ventilation hood. Oh, I live in a slum and I pay too much money. I took action. I bought a Smoky Joe. Can you bring up a picture of a Smoky Joe?
I've been seeing like Jezelnik having an issue with.
What is that part of the Smoky Joe website?
Here it is. Oh, this is going to be a wonderful grill.
This is a wonderful. I'm going to make so many smoked meats on here, grilled meats. Look at that, asparagus and grilled chicken. What's Marc Maron's got a problem with that? You go, why don't you feed that to your Navy SEAL?
I bet he wants you to put crickets on that grill. Why don't you put some crickets and your and your daughter's cock on that grill? If you want to be a good person, that's what he'd say.
Marc Maron wants me to have a daughter, and then cut her cock off, and then put on a grill. And I'm supposed to treat, but we're equals. We're just two guys who podcast. I think that's dirty pool. I think you should just focus on your own content, all right? And you keep my name out of your mouth, and you stop talking to that germaphobe Howie Mandel.
And you keep the Navy SEALs names out of your mouth.
I don't even know that.
They don't even have names.
Look, I think they're lying when they tell me that they were, that they served and whatever. They said they got the Medal of Honor. They said they all got together. I don't think that works that way. I don't think you can just get the Medal of Honor together. I think they're like three of them, right? You know the guys.
Right.
And they said, and they keep lying about having the Medal of Honor. I mean, I'm not saying that they're the most honest men. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they've done terrible things in war.
You probably want the people who've done terrible things.
Yeah, I don't want some conscientious objector, okay? I don't want some guy who, when he saw a bunch of Iraqis, running away from the big machine guns, said oh, they seem like I wanted the guy who was just deadheaded on, did his job. It's not your job in the military to decide things.
Yeah, you don't want the person wringing their hands, going, "Oh, should I take the life of this child?"
Right?
Does that woman really have a gun under her veil?
Yeah.
Or
is this or is
You don't want somebody who's splitting hairs all the time.
I don't need a soldier splitting hairs. I don't need a guy I hire to protect my wife at a bar splitting hairs. I need a ferocious dog of a man. He needs to have that dog in him. You know what I mean? That dog. Woof. Woof.
Yeah. That's gonna be us, babe.
What is this?
Look at this. This is the couple on the grass.
This is
the Smoky Joe in the foreground.
This is affirmation material. This is the kind of thing I want to see.
This is the kind of thing they don't want us to have.
You look at that picture on the right. You see on the right. This is exactly what the culture war is about. Just two white people cooking a few nice meats and a few veg. I mean, look, it doesn't have to be white.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be white, but I mean, they don't want. Like that's the thing. I'm for everyone. I think everyone should get a Smokey Joe. I'm not the one trying. They're the ones trying to stop white people from having grills.
Right. They want it for themselves.
Yeah. Guys like Maron.
Right.
Those want me to have a Smokey Joe. I just think it's not. Why is everything gotta be? Why you couldn't hire a black guy to do it? They probably could have. Mm-hmm. Why is every commercial guy? Why can a white guy grill a piece of meat anymore in this country? Is that possible? Are you allowed? Can a homeless guy accept a little money in exchange for if anyone comes up to me in a bar and starts talking shit about how, like, why are you wearing what you're wearing? Why are you, if I knock their glasses over because I'm a big slob, and I go, well, hey, fatso, what do they call me? And I go, hey, I lost a lot of weight recently. I lost 17 pounds in 10 days. And I go, what are you doing? Ozempic? No, I'm not. I'm doing the right things. I'm macros. I'm doing macro business. And they go, well, it doesn't show.
I'm just eating complex carbs now. Slag.
Yeah, I got rid of simple sugar so my blood sugar doesn't spike. And I ate a lot of protein earlier, so I don't get as hungry. And they go, why you knocked over our glasses? And that's when I want this, like the guy, what's his name? Do we know? Bob, the Navy SEAL, who happens to, does he have a home? I don't know. Do you follow your employees home?
It doesn't make sense to know too much about these guys.
Do you think Henry Ford followed all his factory workers home and make sure they had homes? I pay this man to protect me. And so whatever. His job is to blindside that guy, is my point. Mm-hmm. Because, you don't ask, you're better off asking for forgiveness than permission.
Exactly. So,
I'd rather he just, throw a bottle, just start pissing everywhere, flip a table, and then, set something, maybe he sets the bar on fire. I don't know if he sets it on fire.
The point is to create chaos.
Chaos is, the best friend of everyone. If you have money. If you have money, you want chaos.
A lot of the time, it all boils down to them doing something extremely destructive so that we can kind of sneak out.
Right.
Without too much hullabaloo.
Marc Maron was saying, he only pays them like $100 a month or something like that. I go, they're barely working. Most of the time, they're just bothering people. Most of the time, they're just making more problems for me. So yeah, I give $100 cash a month, and then I let them have sips of my drink. If I get a burger, I'll let them have some fries. I'm trying not to eat out as much. So they're going, they're not. Like we go to a bar now, and I'm like, hey boss, you can get a burger? We got some of your fries. I'm like, no, I'm on a diet. I'm doing my macros, and they're like, well, how are we gonna eat? I'm like, I'm not your dad.
And realistically, like these are the kinds of guys who they wouldn't be the most charming people. They wouldn't be the most charming beggars. They wouldn't be making a lot of cash.
No, these are the guys
in their regular life. It's just whatever the market can bear.
Funny thing is, they were beggars when I met them.
Right.
You think a Navy SEAL can't beg?
But they make people, and they don't have. Even the social skills of most homeless people, they would get into people's faces, spit at them while they were asking for money.
Well, it's because they're not pussies.
Right.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to search the homeless, but these are men.
Right.
These are real men.
Yeah.
And they're with the war. So,
in some way, that attitude is what shows you that they'd be a good security guard.
That's why I think they're not homeless. Because I doubt they tolerate that, even though they smell like they're homeless and they have all the other characteristics. I'm like, they're too confident to be homeless. They're very confident men. They're self-assured. They've got a good head in their shoulder. Their head's on a swivel all the time. Mm-hmm. And you go, but Mark wants to talk about how, I exploit these men. They're basically, I treat them like human cattle. It's not true. I don't eat them. I eat beef. Not as much of my macros. Mm-hmm. But that's how, I don't know what you think cattle is. But they're doing a job. What, should I replace them with AI? Should I have ChatGPT defend me? Is that the gimmick now? Oh, I should deep fake some Navy SEALs and then show some guy at the bar when he says, "Hey, I'm gonna seduce your wife, Tubbo." And I'm like, "Hey, I just instead of sticking my Navy SEAL on him."
It happens all the time.
Right. Hey, Tubbo, I'm gonna seduce that wife of yours. That's your wife? Crazy. I'm gonna seduce her. And I go, I had to pull up my phone and show some AI generated picture of some soldier and go, "This is my security guard." That's not gonna work. I can't outsource this.
Right.
They need to be there at the bar with me.
You have nothing to apologize for.
I don't know why I'm put on the back foot by this so-called comedian. He wants to talk about the Rogan sphere, the manosphere, the Kump sphere. You know, sickening. He wants to be. I like that show he had when he was a homeless guy. That the show was.
Maron?
Yeah, but I believe the plot was he was a homeless guy who kept trying to live with young women, like adult. I'm not saying, but like college girls or whatever. He kept trying to move in with them, and he steal their cats. I don't remember exactly. It was a long time ago. I mean, I'm all for it. I think that was. I
thought that was a really funny show.
I'm not a cop.
That episode where he became a Subway slasher was great.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you that thing when he set up the thing on the toilet in the public restroom, and and it was a needle, and it says, "Oh, congratulations, now you have AIDS." And he goes and they go, and I like how they leave it ambiguous. They leave it ambiguous. You don't know if he actually is doing that. I mean, they don't have a plot point where he gets AIDS, so right. I assume he's just doing a gag. But I mean, it's like a David Lynch film, you know. But I mean, I don't go back through his career and just try police what he did on camera.
Right.
Oh, what about that scene?
I doggedly defended him.
Yeah. When people said, "Hey, that's over the line," yeah. Marc Maron, I was like, "Hey, there's no line."
I said he's an artist.
Right. He's an artist. Now there's a line. When I do it, or my men do it. The men I oh, we don't pay him a living wage. What's a living wage anymore? I got keep a chart for what groceries cost now, and every time the price of eggs go up, I gotta give them a raise. I'm not equipped for that. All right, this is you're killing capitalism. You expect me to pay these guys a living wage? The army, keep me alive. That's a living wage. How about that? Mm-hmm. See, what is there? Keep me alive. That's your living wage. That's your job. I don't know why people think I'm a pushover. They think I'm a patsy.
They underestimate you?
They always think they're gonna just throw me under the bus, and I'm just gonna take it.
You do seem to have a lot of tales throughout your life of people just kind of assuming.
Yeah.
Assuming that you don't see what they're up to.
I see them a mile away, and then they put me in the corner, and I deconstruct the corner. So don't be another one. Don't be another statistic.
Yeah.
Of guys that I've outsmarted.
You work best in the corner.
I work best. No one's put me in a corner in a while, and I've actually done very poorly. I'm miserable. I need. This is why look. Should I have gone through a firm like Blackwater? Can I buy? I mean, I didn't think I was allowed. I could afford it. Mm-hmm. If you all think I should have a more stable, armed security guard force, a guy like Rogan does it, and everyone's those guys are like the elite. He just does whatever he wants, and he knows karate himself.
Well, maybe we should bring those guys on the show, because I've been thinking you should.
Who am I, Howard Stern?
You should have a
bunch of homeless guys on the show. I'm Howard Stern.
I just think you would work very well in a crew context.
Yeah, we could use a zoo crew. You're right. I wouldn't mind having a zoo crew, like some guy like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Bring up a picture of Beetlejuice. I'm not sure if everyone knows that Beetlejuice, the homeless. Was he homeless? Was he
homeless when they met him?
This is he's dead. He's alive still. Good for him. This is a man, and look, and Howard Stern would have him on. I don't know. I wasn't a Stern fan, but Is Beetlejuice allowed in the Hamptons? At his big Hamptons house now? Does Howard Stern allow Beetlejuice to come and hang out in like Bridgehampton or wherever, or Southampton, or wherever he lives? Did he allow him to come to Sagaponic and go, hey, why don't you have a mojito? my servants, or if this man Beetlejuice came, and like I'm not, if you're the people who are on audio, I'm not talking about the Michael Keaton film. This is an African American gentleman with a very large teeth, I guess. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Honestly, now that I remember seeing him in the past and thinking he looked pretty weird, but he doesn't actually look as
he's unusual.
Bad.
He's unusual.
Like,
Howard Stern made it seem like, oh, you belong. P.T. Barnum would not hire this guy, but Howard Stern's like, no, you're a freak. Don't listen to anyone else. You're actually a genetic calamity. P.T. Barnum would be like, wait, he's just a guy. I need real freaks. Women with beards. Fat men. I don't need Beetlejuice. So yeah.
Yeah, P.T. Barnum would need like a good story to make that work.
Yeah, like this guy was defending Ray Kump. He was a soldier, and someone threw acid on him. I mean, look, I really hope that I don't get. The worst thing that could ever happen to me is that I get acid thrown in my face.
That's the worst thing. I mean, look, that would be horrible.
I let people go like, oh, the worst thing that happened to me is I stop enjoying classical music or some nonsense. They say, no, I mean like something horrible.
No, I've honestly, I can't. Obviously, yes, that would be very horrible.
I mean, I guess if I
but I gotta say, I dwell on that a little bit myself.
Right.
Like if I get acid attacked,
I'll be so mad.
I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Can you imagine why don't you live in a house? Why don't you buy your wife a house? Why don't you have health insurance? Why don't you have any of the things that adults have? I go, oh, so I should have that just so I can throw acid in my face and take my house? You gotta build in the right order.
You know what sucks about getting attacked with acid?
Yeah.
Is that the whole point of the attack is to kind of like is to shame you. I feel like usually when people do it, they want to shame you.
Right.
About your like turn you into a monster and while it hurts.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
and like
they want to give you something. They want to give you like they have a bunch of jokes about a guy who's acid in his face.
Yeah,
and they want to use them on you. So first, I gotta throw the acid in your face, and then I have so much material for acid.
And it works. Like that's exactly what it does. Don't get me wrong. Like I respect people who get attacked by acid and then they become activists or whatever. But it's like it's a cruel joke of an
hypothetically,
attack.
if you threw acid in someone's face, the next time you saw him, what's the line you'd use that you have in your pocket now? You got one?
Do I? Okay, so I throw acid in their face.
Well, you use the whole point. It's a shame. I'll start.
Calling them mush mouth would probably be really hurtful.
Wow, are you gonna wait for them to talk, or are you just gonna call them like it's just like because usually mush mouth is like someone might call me a mush. Someone might call me mush mouth because I mumble sometimes. And that's usually what it implies.
Yeah.
But you're kind of putting that on his head.
Because your face is mush, too.
So you're not even going to wait for them to talk. Hey, mush mouth.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like, hey, and you're like, mwah.
And then if they try to say anything bad, like, they won't be able to talk well.
Right. But it's funny that you call them much before you even you get a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a great move.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like, it'd be bad enough if they were like, "Hey, you suck."
You're really asking me to step into the mind of a villain here.
Well, you brought this up. It was your thing. I mean, I'll come up with a line. No, but I'm saying, but like a lot of people would go, "Hey, hey, you suck, burn victim," and you go, "Oh, what was that, mush mouth?" But you're like, it's so much better when you're like, "Hey, mush mouth." Oh, yeah. See, was I wrong? You look prescient.
Right.
That's the word. What would I say?
I would be so upset if that happened to me.
I would if I was in your shoes, throwing acid at people and then seeing them again later at the library or whatever. I would just be like, "Hey, you! Why don't you brush your teeth? Look at smell your teeth. This guy's breath smells awful. Look at him." Just because everyone already sees his face. His face is burned with acid. You don't gotta say that.
Yeah.
You already and you like it's one if you just met a guy with acid in his face, then it's not really for you to say that.
Yeah.
I'm not for like victim blaming or piling on, but if you're the guy who burned someone with acid, you then like it is you did the work.
Right.
You know, so I mean, like you saying that's kind of just like you put the effort. Like that's like when like someone like plants a garden. They get to eat the lettuce. You know, this is how it works. You're allowed to eat your own tomatoes. Now,
what is it about acid that makes people's faces like puff up like that? Because it's like if you get
something with a pH scale.
If you get burned with fire,
right?
Somebody with a lot of fire burns can actually still be kind of cute.
Well, sure.
They're unusual looking.
Yeah,
but like, it's like,
I don't know. I'm not that familiar. I mean, I first of all, I never said that if a woman had acid burns, I wouldn't, I'm happily married.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not like, I've never gone on, I'm not like, I'm not Howard Stern. I'm not like Marc Maron. I don't go out and go like, you know what? I can't stand women with acid burns. It's disgusting. I'm completely unaroused by that. I wouldn't bother saying that. I mean, I take every case as it comes, case by case basis.
Right.
This is how I live my life. But I mean, but to answer your question, probably something to do with the pH scale and or just like gels. I don't know if acid counts as just a gel, but I mean, whatever. Right. It's like if you What depends on like fire is fire, right? But like what's on fire? Is it a grease fire or is it a paper fire or wood fire?
Yeah.
Garbage fire. These are all different fires, right? And like grease fire like spreads differently because it's on grease, right? And like it sticks to things, and
right,
or something like that. So if like someone throws fiery grease on you, I think it sticks to you long or flaming pitch, right? In the Middle Ages, they used to call oil pitch, I think.
Yeah. And
they would flame that. We don't need to show.
I was just looking at some. We don't have to show them, but she actually looks kind of cute with it.
Yeah, I mean it's all fine. It's all fine. This is not. I think
I always just I end up seeing the worst of acid.
This is the kind of thing Marc Maron misinterprets all the time about me and you, us. We happen to be talking about cases where we're, if my wife burns someone with acid, that's not the same thing as picking on people who are burn victims.
Yes. True.
It's a different thing. Keep it in context.
Context is very important.
Everyone loves beef. Everyone likes to talk about the Twitter beefs, right? And like, oh, what's this guy? What are the beefs that are happening this week? Do you remember offhand? Tucker Carlson's Nick Fuentes are beefing. Right,
There's also one with engagement rings, and
right.
It spiraled into a bunch of right-wing e-girls calling each other whores.
Yeah. Right. That's not, is that beef though? I guess
it was beef. It was like a multi-directional beef.
So what happened with that one?
So basically it started with one young right-wing woman posting her engagement ring.
Yeah.
And then an engagement announcement, and then another girl commented like, "Why is it so small?" People were piling on her for it being small or inexpensive looking or something.
Right.
Didn't look that small, honestly.
She had a ring, yeah.
Like it's, but anyway, like and then that turned into somebody accusing someone else of getting fingered at a conference.
Yeah, and then
apparently these conferences are just bacchanals.
Sure. And this is all. And everyone eats this stuff up with a hammer. They eat it up with a hammer.
Oh yeah.
But if I start talking about how who's getting acid in their face, whose life is getting ruined,
which is actually an important issue,
right? And all of a sudden I'm the bad guy,
right?
Even though I didn't make beef culture. What is
the Navy SEALs have never used acid, have they? To defend us?
Look, I mean, I don't know what Eddie Gallagher, he might. I don't think it's a standard issue. But I think as a Navy SEAL, you're allowed to pick your weapons.
Sure.
Like, it's not like the regular Army, where like they give you a gun and they go, "This is your gun." I go, "Can I get a different gun?" No. Like, you can't be like, "Can I have a Desert Eagle?" No. You're not like regular. But if you're a Navy SEAL, like you can buy your own stuff. They might buy it for you if you're really good at shooting. You know, it's kind of like if you joined Metallica as a guitarist, they might buy you a better guitar. Like if you were one of those guys that like just homeless, again, the homeless guys, like, but I'm the bad guy. But Metallica hires a homeless guy, it would be a great thing, right? if there was some guy who was living in his car playing, death metal songs on YouTube, and Metallica was like, "Hey, we like this. Why don't you join our band? We'll pay you $30,000 a year to be in Metallica." They might buy him a better guitar. It was really good,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that. But like if I tried to join Metallica, they're gonna buy me a Gretsch guitar. I can barely play anything. Do you understand the difference?
Yeah.
So a Navy SEAL's allowed to have, they might have asses. Is my point.
Yeah, if that's their thing, if that's their weapon,
they might come to their boss, their general, and go, "Hey, look, I got an idea. I want a water gun full of acid." Well, wouldn't it melt through the gun? And he's like, "Well, we'll figure. Maybe you get a scientist to help figure this out." All right, and then they'll go to MIT or whatever, and they go, "Hey, look at some intern. Hey, can you?" And it probably is. So you probably have a thing where because acid's got to be inside something, right? Glass.
Right.
So instead of it being plastic, it's glass. A glass gun. You make me a glass gun that can shoot acid.
That does sound deadly.
Yeah, right? And everyone acts like, that Navy SEAL, but Navy SEAL's a war criminal because he shot acid at everyone. But that's got nothing to do with whether or not, my point is.
It's like, what's the difference?
Yeah. Honestly, what's the difference getting shot in the face with a bullet or an acid? but bullets are actually worse in a lot of ways. Bullets are like if you got shot in the face with a bullet, it's actually much more dangerous. I feel like, but acid, it's just like you could easily survive that if it didn't go in your eye. Even if it did, I don't know. I don't know what kind. Or different kinds of acids. I mean,
honestly, you're describing something kind of like technically more peaceful, but also nightmarish.
Right.
That every time there was a war, I'm just imagining every time there's a war, people don't die nearly as much, but but everybody is horribly scalded with acid after a conflict.
Well, I'm reading a book right now called Fat, Salt, Acid, Heat, and I haven't gotten to the acid chapter yet. Right now, it's just about salting your meat. But I mean, I'm excited for the part where it gets to where it's I'm in the fat chapter. It's here's the kind of olive oil you can use. Interesting. I've been using cheap olive oil my whole life. Didn't even realize. Apparently, a lot of Americans eat rancid olive oil all the time. They don't even know it, and they're actually used to it. They're conditioned to rancid olive oil because they're suckers. Apparently,
they don't know any better.
But now I know better, so I can. So I can't wait. Changed my life so far. That fact alone changed my life. I bought better olive oil, and I can't wait to the chapter where it tells me how to throw acid in people's face. Because I feel like that'll also give me, maybe I won't even need to pay these Navy SEALs.
Have you ever gotten a little bit of lemon juice in your eye?
Yeah.
It hurts pretty bad.
It is not great. I mean, it's not. At the end of the day, it is acid. It's not hydrochloric acid, right? It's also uric acid.
But it's how much more painful could that be? That's how much lemon juice hurts.
They say if you oversalt your food, you can put acid in it. If you really oversalt it, could you is that should I throw and to that point? If is it the there's what do you call it, the commutative property in math? Should if I saw a person get acid, if I saw a woman get acid thrown in their face in the middle of Times Square. While I'm going to the M&M store.
Horrifying.
I'm coming out of the M&M store. The
last symbol of freedom.
And some guy's like, "Hey, you cheat on me, cheat on you," and he throws acid in your face right in front of me. And I'm like, "Oh my god."
And he says, "You cheat on me, I'll cheat on you."
Well, no, he just said, "Cheat on me, cheat on you." So he kind of was a little more poetic about it.
Right? Yeah.
But I guess that's the implication. Yeah. No, I think I would call that guy a louse.
Yeah.
But my point is, before I bother name calling, if I happen to have a big thing of salt on me, should I throw it in her face? Should I throw salt in her face? Will that counteract? If acid curbs oversalting, can oversalting curb acid?
That's a really interesting question.
Yes.
Or are you just...
Or is it hurt?
That'd be an interesting way to try to save an acid attack.
And a guy like Marc Maron would play this clip.
You're just salting her wounds.
Yeah. Like, well, that's the thing. I can see Marc Maron like going on the Howie Mandel show and like look at Kump. Look at Kump doing this, and he's literally throwing salt in her wound. And look how she screams. It hurts. But I would say this to Marc Maron. Like some things that are good for your wounds hurt. You get a wound and you got to throw alcohol on it to kill the virus or whatever. Mm-hmm. If someone stabs you, you pour alcohol on the wound. You're supposed to.
Sometimes the sting.
Yeah.
That brings screaming.
The sting's worth the juice.
Is the sting that heals.
Is the sting worth the lemon juice? Wait, no. Yeah.
Should we play some of this thing that you're talking about? Did you want to play this Marc Maron thing?
You have the clip where he talks about me? Do you have the me one, the one where he talks about us?
Yeah.
Let's see.
For what you do. Oh.
Hold on.
I've been seeing like Jeselnik having an issue with people like Tony Hinchcliffe, who he's saying uses profanity or just shock value comedy. What's your
profanity?
Thoughts on that?
Well, at this point, it's lazy and sloppy and hackneyed. To be in a fucking club where, I'm walking down the hall at the comedy club, at the Comedy Store, and, in one room, someone's doing their bit about trans people, and then I get down the hall and there's someone on stage going, well, I guess I got to do my bit about trans people. Like, no, you don't. You don't. It's hack now.
What's the part where the one who talks about how I just hire these homeless guys and they're hurting people and he doesn't want to do shows with me anymore?
Sorry, that might be later in the video.
Whatever. I'm not gonna go find you on your own. I'm not gonna bother. But yeah, there's a whole different part of this where he's going like, and Ray Kump, I don't think he had a trans bit, but he does this whole thing where he like has these guys and he keeps saying they're Navy SEALs, but they're clearly homeless guys, and they're just pissing and shitting everywhere, all over the green room, all over the kitchen. He goes in the kitchen and asks them for chicken fingers for his boys. Mm-hmm. And they go, you can have a meal. We don't even want to give you a meal because you're not performing. but I mean, I'm not gonna we're not gonna like fund these guys. I'm like, well, they're soldiers, and then they come wandering in and their pants are off and they're shitting on the floor. This is the story he was telling to Howie Mandel. And
he's just like,
it's not true.
And he's just like,
it's just not true.
They're terrorizing New York City. It's like, what do you care? You live in LA.
Right. Well, that was LA. Yeah. I mean, I'm bi-coastal.
Okay.
I can be on any coast at any given time.
You and your boys.
You don't know where we live. I have different guys on different coasts, and they'll protect me anywhere. All right. And I don't need a guy like Marc Maron going like, hey, we're going to the owner. Who owns the Comedy Store? Mitzi. Is it Mitzi Ross? The Pauly Shore's mom? She's died, right? Whatever. I'm just saying. I don't need him spitting in her ear.
Right.
Spitting piss in her ear. Telling them about me.
Exactly.
I feel like you're not committed to my. You're like seeing both sides here. I feel like. I really feel like even look.
I could see how maybe if they wore uniforms.
Well, I gotta buy them uniforms now.
Uniforms might calm people. They might not look as threatening.
I bet he'd be like, "Why are they wearing these uniforms? They're wearing Nazi uniforms. What is this about?" Ray Kump brings in these guys and they're dressed like Nazis, and then people get mad about that.
Or if they weren't wearing skull masks.
Yeah, I mean, why couldn't you give them just camo? We're like, well, I thought I want people to be on edge and just leave me alone. Mm-hmm. So if they dress like that, that's just because it keeps the focus off me.
Yeah, it's like people are like, why are your boys, why are your Navy SEAL protectors wearing skull masks? And it's like, well, stop doxing them.
Right.
Stop attacking them.
Why is he
trying to reveal their identities?
Why is he wearing a Jimmy Carter mask and offering to suck people in the bathroom? Why is that? And I go, well, who were you, Socrates? What are these questions? Well, am I some guy in the Canterbury Tales or whatever? I'm being questioned here. You know, it's none of your business what soldiers do. Just because, you know, what do you, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when I go out in public. Am I supposed to just, like, you know, allow people to, like, you know, treat me like Jesus? Just grope me, touch me, like, swarm around me and, like, oh, make us more bread, make us more wine. You know, I'm supposed to take it? Just like, treat me like, you know, they, like, lift me up like I'm crowd surfing, like, you know, just throw me and then, like, roll me around in flour. And, like, and bake me. What's supposed to happen here? I can't be manhandled. I'm thinking about hiring some more men. Like, just what?
I mean, how many are you aiming for?
I like 8. You know, just a bunch of, like, I want like 4 guys around me at any given time, like a diamond pattern. And I want a guy. I want a forward guy, and a back. Then a guy could watch my back, see if anyone's tailing me. You know, and then some guy. You know, some other guy would just be like a floating option.
Right.
Just more of a cleanup guy. You know. And then, you know. That's the thing. It's like you don't need to, like, have, like, people like, we need to get immigrants to do these jobs. No, you know, these, like, people. There's plenty of people who don't have homes, don't have any money. You give them some money.
Yeah.
You don't have to outsource everything. There's plenty of homeless here.
There's plenty of desperate souls.
Right. And they can be turned into, you know, assets for you and yours. Anyway. Moving on.
And if people confront us, if people say, "Oh, your guys are forming master blasters and you know, attacking people on the subway," we never said we were role models.
Why did your head of security roll a bowling ball at a school bus? Well, I don't know. It's like asking Bill Gates, why did the guy who designs the Clippy, the Microsoft Office Clippy, why did he beat his wife? I don't know. I'm supposed to know everything about every employee I ever had. Being an employer doesn't mean that you're the mayor, right? You keep track of everybody. Oh, yeah. Why did you pay this guy to go into the M&M store and just put all the M&Ms in his mouth and piss himself? Yes. I thought it would be fun for everyone. I thought it would be. I didn't realize the M&M store was was an accounting firm. I didn't realize it was a court of law where you couldn't have some fun. I thought it was a place you could do pranks.
Yeah.
The Nelk Boys.
And look, you need the firm hand and the soft hand. You need the hard touch and the soft touch.
There's a reason God gives you 2 hands.
If you want to have Smokey Joe in the park, with your loved ones, and bask in the sun and just have a leisurely life, you need the hard fist of the.
If we didn't have
Navy SEALs,
if I didn't have homeless Navy SEALs at all times watching my back, if we tried to enjoy Smokey Joe in the park, there'd be people mugging us. Why are you both white?
People just kicking it over.
Why are you both white and why aren't you biracial enough?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's happens what I love. And then we go, no, it's no good. No good. Culture war.
You should give some of that asparagus to me.
Right. And then all of a sudden you're just in the bathroom with them. You know? And then you go, how did this happen? You go, I don't know. Because no one's watching my back, that's why.
If you refuse, coal's fucking scattered across the lawn.
Yeah.
Your wife's getting dragged to the bathroom.
I thought I was in the bathroom.
Oh, or you're getting dragged to the bathroom.
Dragged? Okay, I guess so. Yeah, in drag, whatever. I don't know. This is why I need to have employee men to keep me in line, to watch my back, so I don't make bad choices. You know. Do you out there want a better life? Do you want to make money? Do you want to meet women? You should listen to me. I can teach you how. All right. I'm sick of pretending I have all these tricks. You know? Stop listening to these fake ass men. I'm the only one who matters.
Let me be your everything.
Let me be your everything. Yeah. Oh, I used to be modest. I used to pretend like I didn't. Well, who am I to tell you how to love? Here's what you do: you go up to a woman and you tell them that you've been to prison. They will. You look. Here's the thing. You go. So let's just role play a little bit. We don't know each other. You're at a bar.
Okay.
Hey there.
Hey.
Where you from?
I'm from Long Island.
Yeah, I was in prison.
Oh, for what? What did you do?
I had I was molested by my parents.
Why would they send you to prison for that?
They framed me. They said I was. They said I was making a mess. Coming to their house, bothering them, throwing their trash cans on the floor. I lit their trash cans on fire.
But really, the whole time they were molesting you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See, here's what you see what I did there.
Look, it's definitely a conversation starter.
Here's the thing. You of course, if you want to be Marc Maron about it, you can go, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you go to jail for being molested? Why would you, even if you did light your trash cans on fire, what was that, prison? How much time? You're overthinking it. Here's what you don't want to do. I went to prison. Go.
Really? For what?
Murder. Too much.
It's
too much. You got to give them, you have to basically very confidently give a bunch of reasons why it's not that bad. Because you want to be the bad boy. But you don't want to be like the bad. You don't want.
But women also like the whole idea of a grand misunderstanding.
Women
like
love
he's a bad boy, but it's only because there's a misunderstanding. Right.
They love the fixed men, and they love men who get caught up in things. Mm-hmm. People act like it's just all about confidence. They love men who can't keep it straight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I got molested, but now I'm the bad guy and I'm in jail. They love that. They love the confusion of it all. Mm-hmm. So that's what your lie should be. When you lie to women, right? It's also who lie about this. Who would make this up? That's the thing. You need that plausible deniability. Because here's the thing. You're not 6'4", and you're never gonna be until I don't know why they can't just sew your legs off, put them back on with more leg on it. They can make intelligence out of computer parts. Mm-hmm. They can make a sentient man who teaches me how to do macros, right?
Yeah.
I got my ChatGPT open and I'm like, how do I eat? How much fat and calories and cholesterol and that's not macros. the carbohydrates, and it knows it all. But like those resources couldn't be put towards just like cutting a man's legs open and shoving more leg bone in there.
Look, they can actually give you they can do a leg extension now.
They should do it every time then. But
the only thing is you're basically disabled for the rest of your life.
Right.
In order to get some height.
I'm not asking for them to shove garbage in your legs. I know they can open your legs up and just shove McDonald's wrappers in there. I'm talking about like actual calcium bones.
Right.
I'm fine. I'm not like, but there's guys out there who like, I'm a married man. I'm fine. Mm-hmm. I'm fine. There's guys out there who can't get it going because the women think they're too short. And so I'm sorry, you have to lie about being in prison. That's the move. This whole thing of like, I don't know who taught these guys to go, no, I'm actually be mean to women and like, and then try to get them to like be a housewife and then call them whores. I mean, like that can work. I'm not saying, if you have the gift of gab, you can make that work. But it's much easier just to lie. What happened to this country? So you tell them...
It's true. It's all about making a lore for yourself.
Right. So here's the thing.
Becoming a larger-than-life figure in your mind.
So in prison, I was actually the guy who was in charge of all desserts.
That's actually, honestly, that's really good.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like his feminine side is a little bit represented in there.
Right.
I was the pastry chef in prison.
Well, I mean, it was like a Dunkin' Hines kind of thing. It wasn't. There's no pastry in prison. you basically take the. I imagine it's like camp where you get like the crappy like cake at camp sometimes. The cornbread almost. It's basically a cornbread, but I would do things like I would make frosting out of I would take a little sugar. What could you even make frosting out of in prison? I'm trying to think. I would just get like I would take salt. I would just like mix it with water and turn it into a frosting. Sounds. I mean, in reality, it's disgusting. But this woman's in a bar. She probably doesn't know how to cook.
Honestly, like if you want to get a lady, you should start by trying to become like a prison lifestyle kind of influencer. Yeah. Here's some of the desserts I would make in prison.
Right. No, that's it. You start an Instagram thing and just pretend you're in prison. Like just say. I mean, I feel like that's like I enjoy. The content I enjoy of prisoners might be fake for all I know. I always thought it was real.
It would be hard to verify.
Sure. I'm going to call the warden. Hey, I'm enjoying this TikTok channel, but I just want to make sure this guy's actually in prison. No one does that.
Yeah.
So you tell this hooker, this ditz.
This slag.
That you would take salt and you would put it in your mouth and you kind of gum it up like a fly does. Mm-hmm. Don't flies do something like that with pollen? Don't they make a kind of gummy thing going? They mix or ants with the honey. Something like that. You tell them it's actually what ants do. I watched the ant documentary. And I learned this. And then you're at a bar, Matt. Because honestly, you're enthralled. You got some guys talking to you about Marc Maron. Right before this, you're like, I love all his albums, Stinky Pain, and the other ones. Right, and
I loved him in Glow.
Glow, and then they won't shut up about Marc Maron, and then I come along and I'm like, I like to fucking, I'm like an ant. In prison, I would stick salt and put it in my mouth and make it like a weird paste, and that's how I make frosting for the boys. And she's got you're telling me some woman's not gonna have sex with you then, or at least take you out, take you out to dinner. Buy you a meal? Yeah. She might buy you a meal. You get a free meal. Like, I can't guarantee you're going to get laid every time you do this. But, I mean, they'll if women don't want to hear about this, I don't know what the world is gone to hell. This is very interesting content. Mm-hmm. This is a very interesting story that you'd be telling in this case. I'm the one making it up now, and I'm like, I'm intrigued. Like, you're out there going, like, does he have his plan? I'm winging this part, and I don't know. But like, if I'm being objective here, I think it's like, how does this story end?
Right. I think also a good strategy is to tell women that you used to be homeless. Yeah. That's also kind of like like when he isn't homeless currently, right, but he has that kind of rough past in his history. Yeah. That can be kind of intriguing.
Right. And what happened when you were like, would you live in the street? Like, I was always like, Marc Maron was always mean to me on the streets. Yeah. He walk past me. I go, like, who? They go, who? Oh, Thinky Pain? That guy. Yeah. The guy who wrote Thinky Pain. He was always throwing his coffee at me, and whatever, and
you make up a noble reason that all of these things happen to you, right? The molestation thing is good. Look, I mean, somehow getting thrown into prison for trying to protect somebody.
Look, like you were. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Like, first of all, thank you for the compliment. Second of all, like let's continue the role play. So my parents molested me, and then they say I lit their garbage on fire. So give me a follow-up question.
Wow, that must have been really hard for you. Like, how did you cope during that time?
You just gotta try to get in shape in prison. So all you gotta do is just I would put the salt in my mouth, to get ready for that meal, the nice meal. Yeah, to make dessert. That was my job.
Yeah, you told me about the mouth thing.
Right. So, but while I was doing that, I would kind of do double duty. I would like, kill two birds with one stone. I would like, do a bunch of push-ups with pot lids to try to get tough.
But don't they have gyms and stuff in prison?
No, a lot of the guys there, they would, if I tried to go in that gym, they would beat the shit out of me. They would try to, like because I got labeled as a victim. I got labeled as a victim. You're laughing, it's fine, but but it's like, these guys are very big. Like on a normal street, I'm not saying I'm not Bruce Lee, but I could probably defend myself a lot. But I mean, these guys in prison are very big, and then and they hear, oh, that guy got molested by his parents. We can probably do whatever we want to him. So I had to watch my steps, and so I had to work out. I had to work out my own in the kitchen with my pot lids. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, well, that is a creative solution.
I know I should be a tough guy like Marc Maron and go, oh, no one can ever, arm me.
Did you eventually...
no one could ever shove it inside me without my permission. But I mean, these are big guys, and then they get together in a group. Who knows what happens?
So did working out with the pot lids, eventually did you get confident enough to go into the actually go into the weight room and defend yourself?
Yeah, I mean, look. Are you asking if I was ever assaulted? Yes. I mean, but I was pretty careful usually. So I mean, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I mean, it's not like that American History X movie, all right? No one had to sew anything shut. It wasn't that bad. All right. If that's what you're getting at. I actually don't like this line of questioning. Honestly.
All right.
I think it's a little invasive.
So sorry about that.
I feel like you just want to make sure that I can function down there. It's fine. It's working fine. If that's your interest, all right. If you're so selfish that all you care about is can you get the job done? Yeah, I probably can. All right, but I was trying to open up to you about the whole situation with me. And you really you're being very what's the word, transactional about it. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. And I just think I think you should be a better person. Mm. To quote my favorite YouTuber, do better. the guy who gets fitness.
Oh yeah, mind your business.
Mind your business. I would say this to the woman: mind your business and do better. Apparently, he got in trouble because he said something nice about Hulk Hogan, and they got mad at him.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know. Hope he's doing okay. Mind your business, lady. You gotta do better. Here's the thing. What do you think is a woman?
What do I think is a woman?
No, as a woman, like that whole strategy.
Oh, look, I think that the prison thing, that definitely has an allure to it.
But you'd rather I not be not have been assaulted.
I just wonder.
It's very telling.
I just wonder if the vulnerability of the molestation part counteracts some of the bad boy energy that you're creating by lying about having been in prison.
No, because
it's not like, and I would understand if this was actually your story. Right. If this was actually your story that you got molested and then ended up going to prison for it somehow. Right. I can understand why you wouldn't want to hide that.
Yeah. My parents, you know what my parents did to me? They molested me. I did this, and then they put me in prison. It's like you're right. That would be really there, burn my ass.
Yeah,
I'd be like, what? No, I'm not shutting my mouth.
I don't believe that anybody that's happened to should have to live a lie.
No, right.
But,
I agree.
But since we're instructing people to fabricate this anyway,
well, I don't know. Look, I mean, I guess you can just be like, hey, I drive a Lamborghini. Is that a better lie? Hey, I'm a doctor and I drive Lamborghinis everywhere. Look at me. I'm 5'2". I mean, I'm trying to give people things they can use.
Right.
Things that can help them. Look, of course, if a hot doctor, if a hot 6'4" doctor with a big hog and a Lamborghini rolls up into a bar and says, "Hey, I'm the Prince of England. What you want to get slip and slides up inside me?" Yeah, women will say yes. All right. There's a lot of ways to get going. Though,
honestly, more men. I do think more men should be trying to pretend to be a prince, like trying to pretend to be royalty. Right. Dressing in velvet.
Yeah.
Like if nothing
velvet
else
is by far the finest material.
The finest material. Yeah. Like if you are a little bit short,
Yeah.
Or a little bit stubby, or you know, people just overlook you. Why not just start dressing head to toe in velvet?
You know, people call him
swinging a cane.
That's a great point.
I'm basically describing Willy Wonka.
That's a great point. No, let's do another rule. But so I'm a short guy in velvet in this scenario.
Yeah.
I walk up to you at the bar. Hello.
Oh, hello! I like your suit.
Thank you.
I love that velvet suit.
Thank you. I bought it for myself the day I got out of prison.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, I'm just celebrating. I'm not actually out celebrating. So I just got out of prison.
See, this guy already feels quite intriguing.
Yes. Do you want to know what I went to prison for?
What?
Well, because you know people always treating me, you know, like you hear short guy energy, like Joe Pesci.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, people get the chip on their shoulder. Mm-hmm. So I've always been accused of being short. People always accuse me of that. And they said stuff like, "Hey, you're not tall enough to live. We're gonna make sure you die."
No, that's rude.
And I'm just like, I put up with it too long, and finally I started doing methamphetamines all the time. And
right.
I ended up, robbing some guy's car, and it was a whole thing. And then he called the cops.
Yeah, and that's when you went to prison.
Yeah, because my life was in shambles. I couldn't. It was just too much stress, whatever. But now I'm all right because in prison I was desserts. That was my whole gimmick. Just making desserts and working out with pot lids, and that's behind me. I put it behind me, and it's been so many years since I've had sex with a woman. I'd love for that to happen.
Honestly, I feel like we're imagining the next chapter in the life of that bagel store guy or something. The guy who had that meltdown in the bagel store.
I could have made that guy president, if and I still can. It's not too late. Bagel store guy. What's his name? Sean? Chris. You. Yeah. Let us groom you. As the president, I can make him the head of. I can make him the mayor. Give him a top. That guy should have a top hat. I mean, whatever. People, this is the kind of I'm always misunderstood. People are always getting the wrong idea about me. But if they listen to me, they might actually do something with their life. They might make a positive change. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
And yeah, don't forget, you just like this show. Like it. Otherwise, we die. Right?
Otherwise, no Smokey Joe for us.
Otherwise, I go back to prison. Yeah.
It's back to the
spitting salt spit.
Sugar water spit factory.
The salt. I use salt instead of sugar. Right. I don't think they give me sugar.
That's right.
And also patreon.com/Ray Kump. Extra episode every week, $5. Pretty good deal. I mean, look, is it a better deal than prison? I think so. Have a good night.